Community Early Response Teams, or CERT, are volunteers from community centres who will come together following or during disaster or other emergency that upsets or disrupts the community. They're there to provide that initial care and comfort and support, and it's about community supporting community. The CERT came about after the 2022 floods, when one of our community centres reached out about providing some training to upskill their volunteers so that they could support the community following a disaster or emergency.
We had, as a local community, we'd identified that, hey, when the disasters happen, we have disaster recovery teams that come in. And it just seemed to be sometimes a bit of a delayed response. But we really felt there needed to be something at a local level. So while we were having these conversations, at exactly the same time, Ipswich City Council started a project of the Community Recovery and Resilience. So after quite a few discussions, we had come up with the response of creating a volunteer team, and the CERT was born. So yeah, so it was good timing, good timing.
As a general overview, once we identified that CERTs were needed in the community, we reached out to the other community centres across Ipswich to see who else was interested in establishing a team in their area. Once we did that, we met with them all and discussed what the training needs of their volunteers were. We then worked with a wide range of training providers to develop an extensive program of workshops and training sessions. These included Queensland Police Service, Volunteering Queensland, and even a local provider in Bellbird Training Consultancy, who are helping us out with our psychological first aid and the really important wellbeing and self-care sessions.
A key component of psychological first aid is looking at how we can work collaboratively with other stakeholders such as QPS, Red Cross, Salvation Army. It's imperative that we have a good understanding of what they do and how they're doing it so that we are informed. When we're working with people, we want to give them the information that they may need to be able to know where else to go to for support and what that support would look like.
So having local communities involved during a disaster really helps because it is a locally led process. They understand their communities. They get where they need to get the information from. They know who to contact and they know what to do. And it's just having that bond with someone in the community and building up that resilience during the recovery process. So having this training really helps the local community volunteers to respond effectively, communicate efficiently, and streamline the whole disaster management process. So we talk a lot about the legislation and the Act and the different phases, the prevention, preparedness, response and recovery phase, to make sure that they know where they fit in and where they would get the support if they need it.
The whole workshops that come together have been very specific and very to the needs. And in the first conversation that Annabelle from Ipswich Council had with our CERT members is identified what training they would like to see. And she followed that through. They're absolutely everything they identified, it has happened for them. And I think they themselves have really felt valued because of that now.
We're so fortunate in Ipswich. We have an amazing group of 64 dedicated residents who have signed on. We have now established 4 teams that will operate out of the Rosewood Community Centre, Gales Community House, Beacon Community Hub and the Redbeck Plains Community Centre. We've held an amazing 36 training sessions and 2 activation exercises so these volunteers can hit the ground running. I truly look forward to seeing these teams in action, supporting our community when they are needed most.